Hello, good evening, and welcome to today's episode of Become a Better Man. My name is Tunde Disu, and thank you once again for joining me for today's program. We are going to continue from where we stopped last week. Last week was a wonderful week because we started looking at understanding the rule of three. Understanding the rule of three. And we were looking at the fact that our lives we're always very busy. Every one of us, everybody is busy doing something, going somewhere, running after something, chasing something, or being chased by something or someone. So everybody is busy, everybody has got their plate full and things to do, things to finish, things to start, things to amend. And constantly we are running and juggling and just trying to catch up with ourselves. It's like what they say, the dog is chasing the tail. Well, the tail is behind the dog. So as the dog is going around, the tail is going around as well. And sometimes our lives can resemble that. We are constantly doing something, trying to finish something. What about this one? What about that one? Thank you, Errol Buchanan. Thank you, Maria Akinjole. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being on this platform today. Let's quickly click the share button so that we can have a footprint of this on our timeline for others to benefit as well. So because of this busyness of our usual everyday life, Saturday and Sunday inclusive, it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming. And the truth is, everything is important. Everything is urgent. Everything needs to be finished. Everything needs to be started. And yet, it's only you and I. You've got two hands, two legs. You can only be in one place at one time. Okay, technology is probably helping us now to be in different places, doing different things at the same time. But ultimately, wherever you are there. And because you and I can only be in one place at a particular time, and at the same time we have all these things clamoring for our time, for our attention. Everything is poking their hands and shouting, I'm important. You need to attend to me now. It's my turn. Give me your space. Give me your time. Sometimes in the midst of that, it can be overwhelming. It can really almost frustrate you to the point where you think, you know what? I don't even know where to start from. I don't even know what to do now because everything is screaming at you. Well, if you have that, it means you are alive. It means you are still inhaling and exhaling. You see, what that tends to do is, if care is not taken, you start thinking your life is out of balance. You think you are not on top of all the issues in your life. You think you are not in control of your day-to-day activities. You think things are just spilling out of you, out of control. And gradually what that will lead to is that you become somewhat resentful to others, especially those who seemingly have their lives together. Princess Precious Dinatu, thank you, ma'am, for joining us. You look at others and they seem to have their lives together, they are functioning, everything is in place. And if care is not taken, you start to be resentful of them. But on your side, on a personal note, you start to become agitated. You are easily provoked, you are stressed up, you are sometimes confused and depressed because of all these things that you need to attend to. Usually at that point, what we tend to do naturally is to turn, for some people, is to turn to, what is it I don't know? What is it I have to do? What is it I am not doing that I don't know to get myself together as well? Which is a great move. However, what tends to happen is you will come across things like you need to set goals. You need to have a to-do list. You need to learn the principle and the discipline of time management. You need to bring all of this into one and distill it and set your priorities. And those are wonderful, wonderful ideas and management principles that they will go a long way to make it great for you in your life and in your activities. Adeto Kumbo Dixon, Monica Van Kooten, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate all of you. The challenge with all of this, as good as they are, is the fact that they only, in most cases, kind of extend your already overcrowded things to do. The reality is, irrespective of what you do, where you do it, how you do it, if what you are doing is not adding values to you, or it's not something that you love and enjoy, if it is not your passion, if you are doing it because you have to do it, because you need to do it, because you should be doing, if it is not coming out of the abundance of your love and passion for it, you're going to struggle. Yes, a lot of people they are in jobs that they don't like doing, but it's paying the bills. But you see, that on its own is a mistake. If you're doing a job only to pay bills, that is nothing but modern slavery. There must be some element within the enclave of that work situation, of that job, of that profession, of that trade, of that business, that just gives you some sense of satisfaction without the pound sign or the dollar sign attached to it. And unless you have that, unless you are in contact, or you're doing something that gives value to you and that comes out of your own passion and strength, you're going to struggle. You see, goal setting is great. Having a to-do list is wonderful. Managing your time is great as well. But the truth is, unless the goals that you are setting, unless your to-do list, unless the time management activities, unless they represent things that you value, you're just going through the motion. Unless they come out of your passion, you do them passionately because it's what you love to do, you're just going through the motion. You see, doing what you like, doing what is passionate, what is close to your heart, when you do those things, even if you are not paid for it, there is this sense of joy, of happiness, of fulfillment, of achievement that comes with it. And that sense of fulfillment and achievement, they have a way of energizing you and propelling you to greater heights. So, in that your office, in that your business, in that your endeavor, in that your career, as dry as wood as it seems, as terrible and unhappy you may feel about it, you will not be able to add to yourself any amount, any sense of value and fulfillment until you find something, even within the whole rotten here and now, something that you can say, yes, I enjoy doing that. I am in association. I can relate to this aspect of it. That is what will give you joy. Productivity, like we said last week, is not doing more things. Just doing a lot of things does not make you productive. You can be engaged and fully involved in activities, but activities on its own does not equate productivity, efficiency, proficiency. Activities doesn't equate to that. Productivity is about doing the right thing. It's about doing the right thing at the right time with the right passion, with the right energy. That's what will yield result. That's what will make you happy. That's what will give you job satisfaction, even if there's no money attached to it. Wiki Abimbola Bubemi, JP, thank you, ma'am, from Nigeria. I appreciate you. Simeon Ulebe, thank you, sir, for joining me. Productivity is about doing the things that give you the greatest leverage and gives you the highest return on your investment. And all these two, when you bring the two together, it will propel you, it will bring you closer to your goal, to your dream in life. Now you are productive. Let me give you an example. Say you want to go from London to Leeds. London to Leeds is about, I don't know, well, maybe that's too far. Let's say you're going from London to Dunstable. It's about an hour's drive, or an hour, 15 minutes. Okay, an hour and a half. That is how long it will take you driving within the speed limit, the national speed limit from London to Dunstable, 1 hour, 30 minutes. If you then say, okay, I am going to spend that 1 hour, 30 minutes on the treadmill, non-stop, and you're there, you are there, you are there for 1 hour, 30 minutes, you will have spent the same energy, the same number of time, the hours and the minutes on that treadmill, busy, sweating. I mean, you are almost out of breath. But do you know that that will not get you to Dunstable? You have been engaged in a lot of activities on the treadmill, but you are still in the same position. Unfortunately, that is how a lot of us live our lives. We are engaged in this and that, doing this and that, but it is not adding any value to us. There is no return on our investment. So you may be asking, so what's the way out of this seemingly not going anywhere? That is the reason why this particular program tonight is titled Understanding the Rule of Three. You see, the rule of three is the antidote, is the solution, is the way out of this stressful and confused, not yielding anything lives that a lot of people are living in. What then is this rule of three? Simple. The rule of three simply states that at the beginning of every day, before you put your hand to a pen, before you open the door to your office, before you peel off the cover for your trade, your wares, before you pick up the very first phone call, before you do anything, make a determination, make a conscious decision, establish from the onset that on this particular day, these three things must be accomplished, must be fulfilled, must be completed, must be delivered. Just three things. Now, I know some of you are already, your mind is tripping on me, but give me time. I will explain this. We are used to having a to-do list of about 10 different things on it. We're used to having instructions flying out from different angles. You do this, you need to do that. Have you called that person? Have you sent the email? What about the report? And on and on and on. But you see, like I said at the beginning, those are the things clamoring for your attention, asking you, look at me. What about me? Give me attention. Running around, trying to attend to all of them, you're spreading yourself too thin. You become ineffective in all the areas, and you'll be tired before the end of the day. But if you can decide that, okay, today is Tuesday, today's Thursday. On this day, I am going to, I must finish this report and send it off to the manager. I must write the proposal. I must, whatever it is, but 3 things in a day. 3 things in a day. Imagine if you do those 3 things in a day. At the end of the week, you will have done 15 tangible, measurable, achievable, recognizable, appreciable things in that week. Imagine what difference that will make in your life, in your personal esteem, how that will rate you before your boss, your manager, your colleagues, your business, because every day you not just ticking the box to say, yes, you are saying that one is done. Every day. Every day. 3 things. These 3 things must be those things that will give you the greatest leverage. They will push you so high you'll be wondering whether you are walking in the air. They must give you the highest return on the investment of your time, of your energy, of your resources, of your everything. These 3 things every day. Make it a point of duty that every morning or every night, like we said last week, you can actually decide tonight what your 3 things for tomorrow will be. In that way, when you arrive at work, when you open your shop, when you turn the key to your car, that's not the time you're thinking, what are we going to do today? Let me see. No, you've already decided that from last night. You see, at every given point in time, you must ask yourself, is my life lived by design or by default? Am I living a deliberate life or an accidental life? Am I living a driven life or a directed life? But if you can take hold of this rule of 3, you will be in total control of not just your life, but what your life is producing. Moyo Sarah Oluwalinda, Titi Lokpe Adelaja Bakari. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. I appreciate you. Please click the share button and let's tell others about it. So, are you living a life that you have designed, your own life, or are you living a life that somebody else designed or circumstances designed and handed over to you to babysit? Understanding and practicing the rule of 3 will give you the key to managing your life. You see, the key to this rule of 3 is that you must identify what is important to you. What are your values? What are your purpose? What do you stand for? What is it about you that defines you? Number two, a point that you must establish and really nail to the wood is, you must be able to differentiate between what is urgent and what is important. I'm going to say that again. You must be able to differentiate between what is urgent and what is important. Now, you may say, well, what's the difference? If it's urgent, it's important. If it's important, it's urgent. No, not at all. And you see, most of us, we live our life on the fast lane of it's urgent, it's urgent, it's urgent. You see, getting caught up in the details of life, chasing after what is urgent could really cloud your vision to the point that you lose focus of what is important to you. If there's an area, for instance, in your life, if there's any aspect of you where you feel it's out of balance, where you think it's like you're trying to grab it and it's just just really very slippery, out of your hand, and you're nearly there, if there's an aspect of your life where it is like slippery, 9 times out of 10, it is because you are living in the world, in the mistaken world of confusing what is urgent with what is important. And until you're able to separate the two, you will continue to try to grab it, try to hold it, try to lay hold of it. It's not enough to be busy. The question is, what are you busy about? What are you busy doing? What is occupying your time? Everybody is busy doing nothing, busy running, going nowhere, all in the name of productivity, when what we should be concentrating on is what is important, not just what is urgent. Every day we devote our lives, we devote our times, we devote our energy chasing after all these things that are urgent. You know why? Because we say it has to be done now. It can't wait till tomorrow. If I don't do it now, if I can't finish it now, it's like, well, in those days when you go to the open market and they said, come and buy this thing. If you don't buy it now, it will be gone tomorrow. Well, maybe it's not meant for you. In fact, one of the greatest rule of living a purposeful life is, if anything becomes urgent that you have to do it now, you must do it now, that's the time for you to hold back a little bit. Because most of the time you haven't given it a thorough review. You are just being led by emotion. And most decisions that are made based on emotions the result won't be what you want. You cannot postpone things till tomorrow because you think they has to be done now. Or at least it feels like it is very urgent. Really? Don't let the urgent stuff take control of your life and your time. Rather, concentrate on what is important to you. What is important to you? We are all... Everybody's running after, oh, that report is urgent, we have to submit it. Oh, that proposal is urgent, it has to be completed. Oh, that meeting is urgent, we have to start it now. And as you do that, you cloud yourself of what is important. And those people that are important in your life, they are suffering. The things that you should really give your time and attention to, you have put them on the lay-by, pursuing that which you call urgent. I'll give you an example. It is so urgent that now your parents are complaining that they don't even get to see you. You're not close to them anymore because everything else is urgent. When they are the important thing, but now you're too busy because everything is urgent. Your kids are growing up right under your nose and you don't even know it because everything else is urgent. They are the important thing, but they can wait because you have to pursue that which is urgent. You are sensing that something is wrong with your marriage, but you are not sure of what it is, and you have not taken time to find it because everything else is urgent. Your health is deteriorating, but you are not listening even to your own body because that meeting must be done. That proposal must be sent off. That business must be closed. I must be in Canada tomorrow. If not, because all those things are urgent. In the meantime, the things that are important are being left undone. And usually you hear, especially men will say, but I'm trying. I'm really trying hard. Yes, you are trying hard. But you're trying hard doing the urgent things and abandoning the important things. And you know what? The urgent stuff, those urgent things, they have a way of multiplying themselves like rabbits. You kick one off, 10 of them will come back. You close the door on 2, 7 of them will show up by the window. because they have a knack of drawing your attention. But the reality is, it doesn't have to be like that. There must be another way, and there is another way. Clean out those urgent stuff and make space for those things that are important in your life. Your family, your health, your relationship, your walk with God, your personal health. Look after yourself. It's the only life you've got. It's the only life you've got. Now, I know this may sound like I'm just going on a rampage, but I know from experience, from consultations, from my private studies, from talking to other people, that these are things that people are dealing with in their lives. If that's you, let me know. If you feel what I'm saying relates to you, just put a comment on the online, and let's see, let's share it. Let's see if you think this is relevant to you. So the question then is, how do you set the priorities to live a life that you love? How do you then get your life back? How do you gather yourself together? How do you bring yourself to a point where you can actually start to live a life that is by design, not by default? A life that is your own making, not the one that is wrapped up and handed over to you. How do you do that? Quickly, let's look at how to set priorities to live a life that you love. Number one, take a break. Take a break. Now, that may sound confusing. What do you mean, take a break? Yes, take a break. Take a break. You are going at 120 miles an hour. It's time for you to slow down. Pull into the service station, refuel your car, grab a cup of tea or bottle of water. Take a break. Take a break to think about your life and ask yourself, what is really important to me? What is really important to me as a person? Ask yourself, how would I like to, given all that I am and all that I have and all that I could be, how would I like to live my life? Will I like to be healthy, to be loving, to be caring, to have my families and my love? What type of life do I want to live? And as you think about these things, don't just do a mental work on them. Write them down. Write them down. Ask yourself, what are those things that in 10 years' time, in 15 years' time, 20 years down the line, I can look back and still say, yeah, that was a good decision. Yes, I did that right. Yeah, that was the right thing to do at that time. You see, whatever career you have now, thank God for your job, for your work, for your business, for everything. Ultimately, a day will come when you're going to look back and you will see the difference between what you have been pursuing, the urgent things, and those things that are important. And that is why a lot of people, on their deathbed, they look back and you just see just tears running down the corner of their eyes, and you're wondering, is it the pain of the illness? Is it the injection? But no, it's that point of, I could have lived a better life. I could have showed more love. I could have done those things that are really important to me, rather than doing those things that are urgent and calling for my attention. So take a break to really get yourself together. Come out of the gate, stop the rat race, and just pause. And as you write these things down, don't worry about whether they are things you can afford, or is this one really feasible? Can we really attend? That's not the point. The point now is, remember, you are trying to gather yourself together. So do that just for yourself. Forget about the ability to afford them, the feasibility, the reality. No. Just write them down. Because maybe for the first time, you're talking to yourself. Let me tell you something. There's a secret to this. If you write these things down and you have more than 5 or 6 items on the list, if you have more than 6 items on your list of the important things that are most important to you, if you have more than 6 items on it, chances are you're already pulling over into the urgent stuff rather than staying on the lane of those things that are important. Keep it short. Keep it brief. Let it come out of your guts, not out of your head. Relax to process this thing. Number 2, think about the things you are doing every day. Think about how you live your daily life. Think about, the first one was think of what are the important things in your life and write them down. In this number 2, think of how you live your life and how those activities that you engage yourself in during the day, how do they relate to those important things in your life that you have established? Say, for instance, one of the important things to you is you want to be healthy, you want to live a balanced life, and then instead of maybe going from ground floor to 3rd floor, you press the lift and stand there, and it's there. Door open, you come out. Maybe you need to change that. Instead of going in the lift, I'll just climb the stairs. Now, it is not just about climbing the stairs. It is because climbing the stairs will push you towards achieving the goal of living a healthy life. It's a form of exercise. I don't know if this is making sense to you, what I'm trying to say. So in this particular point, number 2, that you should think about what you do every day, think about them in the light of the goals and the desire that you have when you are established. What are those things that are important to you? Maybe one of the things that are important to you is you want to enjoy your family time with your spouse and your children. Then instead of finishing work at 5:30 and going with the boys or the girls to the pub to have a pint or whatever you do, and then get home at 8 o'clock when everybody is tired, half of the children are asleep, your wife or your husband is already getting ready. No, finish work and come home. Because now you're doing something along the line of what you said is important to you. And as you do these things every day, try and highlight those ones that relate back to the important things in your life. The highlighted stuff from your list of your daily routine are the important stuff that you do every day. As you highlight them, say you have your list of these are the things, as you make your list, and then every day you relate your activities back to those things and you highlight, okay, now I'm climbing the stairs, that's counting towards my health. Now I'm coming home early, that's counting towards my spending time with my family. Just highlight those things. Whatever is left unhighlighted on your list is not important, it's urgent. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. Number 3, deliberately cut down on the urgent stuff cut down on those things that are beaming at you, urgent, urgent, urgent. Cut them out. Cut them out. I'll give you an example. There you are in the office working. You're working away. And suddenly, your laptop or your phone or your iPad beeps at you. Ping! And you know that sound is to say a new WhatsApp message just hit your phone. You have a choice now. Are you going to stop what you are doing to go and see what WhatsApp is saying? And the reason WhatsApp beeped at you, the reason WhatsApp made that sound is to get your attention to say, something urgent is here. Give it your time. Something urgent has happened. Go and see it. Oh, your friend has just posted a picture on Facebook. Go and look at it. The ability to cut off such distractions, such things that are shouting at you, I'm urgent, I'm urgent. The ability to cut them off as much as possible is another way of regaining control over the life that you live. Some urgent activities will need to be delegated. For instance, I know this is old-fashioned. There was a time when if you get a bill that you need to pay, you have to take the bill and your money or take the bill and your checkbook or your card to the post office to go and stand in the queue and get it paid, or to the bank. But nowadays you can do it online. And that means you can do it even when you are relaxing, when you're about to go to bed, when you are just by yourself, or if you can do it online. That's part of delegation. Or you can just give instruction to your bank to say, okay, on the 17th of every month, my gas bill is due. Can you please pay it? Standing order or direct debit. But if you don't do that, guess what? That bill will come, bam, as it hits the table, you think, oh, gas bill. Now, everything else around you will stop so that you can attend to the gas bill. Because gas bill is urgent. Gas bill has to be paid now. It cannot be postponed. It cannot be left unattended. I have to do it now. No, you can delegate that to your bank. Pay it online. Pay it online. Maybe you are somebody like me who will, every morning you iron your shirt to wear to work. You can batch that. Say, okay, every Sunday I will iron 3 shirts. That will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So when I come home on Wednesday, I will iron another 2 shirts, which will be for Thursday and Friday, or 3 Fridays, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Now, what you are doing is you are buying time for yourself so that not every morning you wake up in a party, I've not ironed my shirt. No, batch it together. Bring everything together. Bring some sense of concentration to some activities. That way, you free yourself some time in the future to do other things. Oh, how are we doing? Oh, Mags Mutizwa, thank you, ma'am, for joining us. I appreciate you. Another thing you can do to regain your life and bring some order and sanity into your life as a way of prioritizing what is important to you rather than doing the urgent stuff is find a mentor. Find a mentor. Talk to your mentor. Lay it bare before your mentor. The reason you have a mentor is because that person, if you have chosen it based on the right reasons and criteria, is because that person can guide you, can see what you can't see, can share some of his or her own personal journey or experience with you that will help you become better. So go to your mentor to say, So I've observed, or ma'am, I've observed that you got your life trimmed down and in shape. What's the secret? How did you do that? How did you go about it? Talk to a mentor. They will guide you. They will show you the tricks, things you don't know. They will tell you. And by so doing, you can gradually fine-tune your life. Another thing you must do is you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. It is bad when you are deceived by somebody else, but it is criminally worse when you deceive yourself, when you are not honest with yourself. Be realistic about your life and your priorities. Be honest. Compare the reality of your time with your ideal priorities, and then try and make a balance. Ask yourself, are you giving too much time to what you're doing? Are you giving proper time to what matters to you? And if you are not, why not? If you are not, why not? Being able to answer the why not can just be the key that will set you free. What can you do to make your true priorities number one in your life? And once you identify them, make appropriate changes so your reality matches the matters that really are important to you. A healthy dose of reality is usually necessary. Now, you might not like what it would take to achieve it. You might not be readily available to take on, but just be truthful. Be honest with yourself. Another thing you can do to bring some sense and sanity and priorities into your life so that you do what you like rather than do what you have to do. Understand that Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. Take action in small steps. Take action in small steps. For instance, you wake up one morning and suddenly your middle kingdom has grown. And you're thinking, oh my goodness, where did that come from? Your fat belly is what I'm referring to. And you think, right, I have said to myself, I am going to live a healthy life, therefore, I need to do something about this. I need to trim myself down. Now, you mentioned that to your spouse or to a friend. They say, well, you need to go to the gym. You need to enroll in a gym. You need to start exercising. You can spend the whole day in the gym and the whole night in the gym. You're not going to lose that weight on that one day. It's not going to happen. It will not happen. What am I saying? Learn to take small steps. Go to the gym, climb the stairs, watch your food, check your calories, do exercise. Before you know it, all of this will combine together and you start feeling more light. You start feeling healthier within yourself. One day you look down and the belly is not there. But you take small steps. And sometimes you start and you feel overwhelmed and, oh, can I really do this? It is natural at the beginning to feel, how did I sign myself up for this? But keep at it. Persistency, consistency is what will get you the result. Don't give up. Also remember, as you go along, your priorities will change. Do you know why your priorities will change? Because your life is changing. Your life, your environment is changing. And as they are changing, ideally, under normal circumstances, your priorities too will start to change. Just adjust. Just be pliable to your new reality so that you can tailor your life to this new reality that you have. As you get older, your priorities will naturally change. Over time, you will mature, your needs will change, your priorities will change, and then some things about you will change. That's the time to spend some time to go over each area of your life again. Okay, now I was 18 then, now I'm 23, now I'm 25. Things have changed. I need to readjust. I need to make changes. I was 20 then, now I'm 50, I'm 60. Things have changed. I need to readjust. I need to make changes. Your life will change. And as your life changes, your priorities too must change. Don't be stuck in one place to say, well, that's the way I said I'm going to do it 17 years ago. Well, that was 17 years ago. It's your reality today. The life you are living right now, does it match what you had 17 years ago? 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be no. So why would you want, therefore, to apply what you did 17 years ago to your life today when your life has changed? The things around you have changed. Your circumstances is completely and totally different. You must be pliable. You must be amiable. You must be able to change your priorities as your life changes. When you do these things, rather than your day happening by default, when you take steps to deliberately design it by yourself, for yourself, then you are implementing the rule of 3. Because every day you are establishing what is important to me. Every day you are shutting down those things that are urgent so that you can focus on those things that are important. Every day you are aligning the reality of your life to the reality of where you're going, to the reality of your circumstance. You are not living your life in a cloud somewhere, hoping and wishing. No, you are living a life that is designed on purpose. Remember, we said at the beginning, productivity is not about doing many things. Productivity is about doing the right thing. Productivity is about doing it the right way. Productivity is making sure where you are exerting, where you are spending, where you are putting your energy and resources, it is yielding the greatest, it's giving you the greatest leverage, and it's giving you the highest return on your investment. When you do that, when you establish that, now your life has started. Now you have started to live a life that you design, not because it is handed to you in a wrapping paper. I don't know if this has helped anybody tonight. Our lives, we only have one life to live. Only one. Only one life to live. And we have to live it deliberately. We have to live it on purpose. And maybe you are somebody like me over the years where you have not, obviously, you didn't have the exposure to this type of material. So you have lived a life that when you look back now, you're wondering, if only I knew. Well, that's life. It has happened. It's time now for you to use what you have now. Use the tools that's been given to you now to shape what happens to your life from now on. We all have, every time you look back, you see things that you say to yourself, I can't believe I did that. I mean, how could I have allowed that to happen? Where was I when that was happening? That is life. It's called the experience of life. However, we are now at a point where we have new tools, new knowledge, new exposure, new information. Let's now pull them together and use it to create a better tomorrow, so that when we look back 5, 10 years from now, we can say, yeah, 30 years ago was nothing to write home about, but since I made that turning 7 years ago, I'm happy with what's behind me. But more than that, I am energized, I am fueled, I am ready, I can't wait to encounter my tomorrow, because it's not by accident. It's on purpose. It's not by accident. It's on purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for this time tonight that we have spent together. I hope something I've said has registered with you, ministered to you, maybe open your eyes for the first time to see an area of your life that will need for you to take control of. I have learned from tonight's program, and I hope and I believe that you too, you have learned something. Thank you once again. I appreciate you. Just before we close for tonight, I want to invite you to be my guests on the 25th of November. I've been invited as a guest speaker on Amansan FM. You can get that through tunein.com. I've been invited as a guest on Sisters Connection Chat Show Live. It's a radio program. It's on Amansan, AMANSAN FM. You can get the app, the TuneIn app, and you search for this particular station. On Saturday, 25th of November, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, I will be the guest on that program. And I'm using this platform to invite all of you to tune in and join me as we spend time with Sisters Connection Chat Show Live host. Also, can you believe it? It's exactly 1 year ago that this book was released, Elisha Project, The Privilege of Serving Leaders. Exactly 1 year ago that this book was published. It's available on Amazon, both in Kindle format and also in paperback. And you can bring it to me anytime. I'll sign a copy for you myself. So please avail yourself to this. It will be a blessing to you. I am happy and I am proud of the content of this book, because this is written from my heart. It's written from my years of learning, of serving, of making things happen for others and for myself, because I know that as I was helping and serving, I was learning and growing myself. And so the content of this book is highly, highly recommended. It's not just about whether you are serving in the church or... No, serving is something that we all do. Everybody is serving in one way or another. In fact, I said here, serving is sowing, and the harvest is always greater than the seed. Whether you are in a marriage relationship, friendship, at work, at home, at school, at church, wherever you are serving. And what better way to serve than to find the tools, the nuggets, the wisdom of how to do it effectively, profitably, and be a blessing to somebody. I mean, some of the topics that we cover in this book, let me give you some of the topics that are covered in this book. The call to the office of a PPA or to serve. What are the qualities required for you to serve effectively? We talked about faithfulness, attitude, how to balance your family responsibilities against your service responsibilities, how to invest in the area that you are serving in, and many more like that. So please visit Amazon.com or .com, search for Elisha Project or Tunde Disu, and avail yourself a copy of this book. It will be a great blessing to you. Especially, Christmas is coming. Don't give that socks again. Get a book. Give to your friend. They'll be glad for it. Thank you, Pastor Richard Nana Akin, for joining. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week when we meet again on this platform, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. And remember, we are on a journey of discovery. We are going somewhere. We have a purpose. There's a goal that is set before us. And we're not going to stop. We're not going to give up. We're not going to throw in the towel until we arrive at that destination where everybody that will see us will say, surely, these are better men and better women. Until next week, this is Tunde Disu saying, God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.